Hey, my name is Gerald, and I'm living in a remote place in Papua New Guinea in the Gulf province and work there as a volunteer in a remote hospital. And I just want to talk about the biggest issue that we are facing. And when I have the chance to talk to some politicians or people from the outside, I'm going to confront them with this. It's like, what is the biggest issue that you think we're having? And most people would say it is healthcare and education. Or if they don't come up with an answer, then usually I throw them the ball, and usually they agree with them very strongly that this is the biggest issue. And I very strongly disagree with this, because the reality is that despite the fact that we put a lot of effort in healthcare and education, we can't really see it in the remote places. So what is the biggest issue in the remote places? Or why doesn't it happen in the remote places? And I believe, or it's actually very obvious, what is missing for the remote places to develop is transportation communication. So, because everything starts with transportation and communication. If you want to build something, you have to have transportation communication to build a house, a hospital, and so on. And if you want to maintain it, you need transportation communication. Without it, you can't do anything. And this is one of the biggest struggles that we have out here if we want to develop these remote places. And we can feel sad and pity with the people that live out here, but I don't have any pity for them. I have a lot of respect, because these people, they live in a remote place where not many people from the city would survive a week in these conditions. So it's not about feeling pity or anything, but the reality is, especially the younger generation, they want to tap in to new technology and things to make things a little bit work easier. And also the older generation, they want to have some solar lights, they want to have a iron roof. But without transportation communication, it is very hard to start anything. And again, like, to make healthcare and education working, you need transportation communication. Here are a few examples that I came across over the years. I've been in several schools where the teachers went to Port Moresby and never came back. They had to go to pick up the salary because there was no banking service. The transport to Port Moresby costs one way just 250 kina roughly. Plus, depending on the time of the year, if you go by open sea, it's very dangerous to travel. So people go and don't come back. And this is a frequent thing that happens out here. Another thing is since mobile phone banking and everything came in, and since the teachers and healthcare workers come on the government payroll, which is a good thing, but for the rural places, the people have to leave their bank card basically with the shop owners, that if or when the signal comes on, that they can pick up the money and give it to the teacher or healthcare professional. So, plus they're getting charged on top of it. So these are conditions, like, the people have to work very hard to do something very simple that we take for granted in the city.